Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Rants About Tech Live, episode 127 for this Wednesday, July 23rd. I'm Rod. This is sunny Philadelphia, sunny today. And how are you guys doing out there? Oh boy, we didn't even get the chat up. We got to get the chat, you guys. My goodness. We got Mr. Mike in here, though. How's it going, Mr. Mike? Good morning to you. We got Aaron down here, too. How's it going, Aaron? Good morning to you as well. Anything exciting happening to you guys today or this week? Oh, we need some more videos. I'm getting videos done. My next video is going to be the screen brightness test video. I've been working hard to get that. You know what's so funny? We're going to talk about a couple of things today, but that's one of the things we're going to talk about. Rod, ChatGPT or Gemini. Oh, come on, chill out. Gemini all the way, all day, every day. Let's get this chat in here, though. I need to get it up here. We're on top chat, so I might have missed some chats. No, I didn't. We're on live chat now, though. Let's get this popped out here. How you guys doing, though? How's your day going so far? Any big eInk news going on right now that you guys want to talk about? We're going to hit the news topics like we do normally, but we're definitely going to touch on some eInk topics. I'm having a big problem with my Go 10.3 and my Remarkable Paper Pro here, so we're going to talk about that today after we get to the news stories here. It's been a weird time for me with the eInk because I don't know where these problems crept up from. I thought it was just like my pen. I started blaming my crystal nib for a while. I'm like, it's got to be my nib. Like, did something happen to it? No. I went to a felt pen, which is 100%. Feels like crap, but it's always 100%. The felt had the same problem. We're gonna talk about it. Right after I get this chat locked in here. Oh boy, can we get the chat locked in? There, we got it. Oh, what is that? Holy cow. We got the chat. Let's get the applause going for you guys for being here so early. I appreciate you. Let's get the applause going. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. We got applause and air horns going for you guys today. Mr. Mike in here early. Owen in here early. I appreciate you guys. Who else we got in here? We got Aaron, Mr. Media in here early. 2530 Media. I appreciate you guys for being here. Let's go ahead and get to the news story, shall we? If you guys got anything you want to throw up here, you guys go right ahead. First thing we want to get to is the national international holidays like we normally do here. Vanilla Ice Cream Day. It's a national holiday. If you enjoy vanilla ice cream, it looks like it's gonna be a nice day out here today. I might have me some vanilla ice cream. Peanut Butter and Chocolate Day. I had a brownie last week. Amy made some brownies. She sometimes she'll bake. Sometimes she'll bake. And she made some brownies. I got some peanut butter. Oh my goodness. I dipped the brownie in the peanut butter. Come on, chill out. Peanut butter and chocolate day. You got to try a brownie and some peanut butter today, okay? Oh my God, you know what you do? Two birds, one stone, everybody. You get the vanilla ice cream since it's National Vanilla Ice Cream Day. You get you a brownie with the vanilla ice cream and you top it with some peanut butter. Oh my. I may have to do that. We got brownie mix upstairs. That's where the kitchen is at. We may have to do brownies again today. I know it's hot, and we don't like to turn the oven on when it's hot. You know how it is. You know how it is. Lastly, we got International Yada 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 Day. What is that? So that's the first thing we're gonna look up here, chat. We need to find out what National Yada 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 Day is, okay? That sounds too interesting to pass up on, okay? We got to find out what Yada 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 Day is. Okay, today, July 23rd, is International Yada 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 Day. This day celebrates the phrase yada yada yada. Who knew? I love that phrase. Popularized by the TV show Seinfeld. It's a fun way to gloss over details in stories, often used by skipping boring or obvious parts. The phrase is used to humorously avoid mentioning specific or especially embarrassing or interesting ones. I would think details. But yeah, interesting. Yada 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 day. Okay, so there we go. International, and it's an international. It's not even a national holiday. It's international. The globe enjoys this. We gotta get it. Let's go to the chat before we get to these stories here. You also need to check the CalDigit TS5 Plus. Ooh, what's that? I don't know what that is. Aaron, we got more videos coming. I got like 7 videos queued up. It's just these manufacturing tools have taken all of the brain power, and I've been using it for that. I'm telling you, I learned 3 printing machines of different types in 6 months. That took some doing. And then finished that combination off with some caramel. Oh my God, Owen, yes. Then you throw some caramel on there, you got a good time. You got a good time. That might be worth not going out on a Friday night for. I'm telling you right there. That may be worth it. That may be worth it. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get to some of the text. All right, so first up we got here is, you know what? Before we even get to the tech stories, I want to give a big RIP to Ozzy Osbourne, who passed yesterday, and Malcolm Jamal Warner, who passed yesterday as well. Two icons in my life growing up, went on the same day, and I felt like that was worth mentioning. So RIP to those guys. All right, here we go. Pixel 10 sneak peek. Let's take a look at it, you guys. Are we interested in the Pixel 10? Are we Pixel owners out there? How are we seeing the chat? We Pixel people out here? You know your boy's a Pixel person. Come on, I got the Pixel on hand right here. It's the old Pixel. It's Pixel 7 Pro. It's time for me to upgrade. This may be the year. This may be the year. Let's go ahead and check out this real quick sneak peek we got going on here at the Google Store website. Let's check it out. Now, I've always been a fan of Google going with the camera bump here. The visor, the camera visor, I've been a big fan of that since they came out with it. It was just something to separate the brands. So that's it. So they just kind of like showed what it's going to look like in the back. We already know what the screen's going to look like. It's black. They don't need to show that. But I do like that they took the camera bump from the Pixel Fold, and they brought that thicker. I call it the go all in bump. You know what I mean? They went all in with that bump on the Fold. Like it's unapologetic, the way they designed the camera bump in the Pixel Fold. And they've brought that unapologetic design here to the Pixel, the regular Pixel, the Pixel Pro. I'm not sure if this is the Pixel Pro or not, but the point is they're bringing it to their regular Pixel lineup. And I think that's very cool. So I'm very happy with that design language there. We need more Note Air 4C content and AI proper reviews from you. Oh, no doubt. AI paper reviews, no doubt. I can find something to get upset about. I'm sure I can. I'm sure I can find something to get upset about. Let's get to the rest of the chat here. And I finished that combination off with some camera. Dude, how does that look different from the iPhone or the Pixel 9? A couple things. So the big thing for me about this is, like I said, the camera bump. This camera bump is way more drastic. It's like I said, it's unapologetic. In previous years, they've done the dumbed down visor, right? They went with the visor, but they didn't want to go all in with it. They didn't want to make it too bold, right? You look at this, that's the first thing you notice. You know what I'm saying? It's like you notice how big that is. And I'm okay with that. Like, I think they should just went all in with the design years ago when they first came out with it. But like I said, they did the right thing by going with this all-in design on the Fold, which made me want the Fold even that much more. I'm hoping they make a really good Fold this year. I may skip the 10 to go with the Fold 2 or the 3, whichever one they're on now. Also, this one has a temperature reader on it as well, so that's different. So it's a bigger camera bump on this one, Owen. And it's not only bigger as in it takes up more real estate on the back of the phone, it's thicker. The camera bump is thicker. So like I said, I'm okay with that. That to me, that's the all-in approach. And I think they should have done that long ago. Dude, no, brother, we need no camera bump. To me, I'm like, listen, go ahead and do it. The thing with this is the camera bump is that it's okay when you lay it down on the table. I typically only don't want camera bumps for one reason, and I don't have that camera bump problem because your boy uses Peak Design cases here. Okay, let's make this known. Every phone I have, I throw a Peak Design case on it for a couple reasons. I love Peak Design for one. They make their design is peak. You know what I mean, like the name. They have this attachment system here that it's does two things. So they have this connection point lined with magnets. So it's lined with magnets that when you put something on it, it aligns itself to that. So bam, my wallet sticks in a particular spot on the back of this device. This is a Peak Design wallet as well, so they kind of work together. And that's another reason why I always buy Peak Design cases, because no matter what phone I buy, I throw a Peak Design case on it. Now my wallet will instantly stick to that case. This is the third phone that this wallet has seen. As you can tell, the wallet looks way more beat up than the phone does. That's because this has gone through 3 generations of phones. So anyway, it has magnets that align things if you want to attach things to it magnetically, but it also has an attachment system here where there's grooves here, to where there's a system that you push things in and you hold the little levers and it's holding the teeth in. And when you let it go, the teeth go into those grooves and locks it into place. So not only is it a magnetic attachment that orientates it, there's a locking mechanism involved with this center portion here. Peak Design just does a really good job of designing their stuff. Now, what you would use this locking mechanism for right here is if you have your phone and you're recording while you had your phone attached to your bike, right? Or whatever like thing that moves, right? If you're biking and you have this on there, you want it to stay. Magnets won't hold hold this thing in place by itself. So this locking mechanism comes into play when you do things like that. So and they have this locking mechanism that work on a lot of different things. They have a car mount that uses it. They have a bike mount, like I just said, that uses it. They have what else? They have what your phone can go on to. Lots of other little things that you can attach your phone to with this thing. But anyway, so I don't really care about camera bumps because I always put my phone in a case like this, and the camera bump is non-existent when you do that. So I can sit it down on a table and it not rock because it doesn't register a camera bump because the case fills in that space where the bump is protruding out from the back of the device, right? So I fully anticipate Peak Design making a case for the Pixel 10 that will make that bump non-existent, right? But for me, I don't really care because the bump is so like. Let me just take this out of the case here, because the bump on the Pixel 10. See, you can see here, this is the 7, and you can see this bump is not really significant. It doesn't protrude out much from the back of the device, and it's not very big. But this bump goes all the way across like all the other ones does. So when you sit that on the table, like so, it still doesn't rock because the bump goes all the way across the device. On the iPhone, the camera is like in the corner. So when you put it down, it's going to rock because it's not level, right? That's my problem with camera bumps. As long as the camera bump doesn't cause the phone to rock, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that, 100%. Rod, you just described MagSafe. MagSafe doesn't lock in place though. MagSafe just uses magnets. This feature right here magnetically attaches and also has a locking mechanism. So that makes it a little bit different than MagSafe. Although Google is coming out with a MagSafe type mechanism called Pixel Snap. So it's basically Google's answer to MagSafe. So Google's going to be doing their own thing, but Peak Design has their own proprietary thing, which is that locking mechanism with the magnet structure as well. Just make the thing thicker and give us a bigger battery. No doubt. I could do that. I'm with that. I can get behind that. I can definitely get behind that. All right, so the next thing we got is going to be some of the specs. So these are some of the I don't really get into specs for items that are coming out, but Google is having a launch event on August 20th here. And they're assuming they're going to be launching the Pixel 10 on that date. And when they do have that announcement, these are some of the speculations people think they're going to talk about when they talk about the specs. So let's see here. We got a 6.3 inch FHD plus display that's protected by Corning Gorilla Glass. Let me use the mouse here. That's protected by Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2. What else we got? We got a 4,970 milliamp hour battery, 29 watt charging. So we do got fast charging here. 12 gigabytes of RAM and 12 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes or 256 gigabytes of storage in this particular device. They don't talk about the camera stuff here, which is what I really wanted to hear about, which is the camera. But you know, it is whatever. I'm looking forward to this presentation. They sent me an email actually talking about some deals that they're going to be doing on August 20th as well for the Pixel 10. So if you think you might want the Pixel 10, you may want to go and subscribe to their newsletter because only people who are subscribing to their newsletter get this particular deal that they're coming out with on the 20th when they launch at least the pre-orders. We don't know if they're actually launching the device that day. Serotonin, good morning. How you doing? Flat camera bump is too difficult. I just want a phone with flush sides. Yeah, I agree. I would love how they did back in the day when phones didn't. You know what? Let me go grab this thing real quick. Now I have a whoa Sony. Okay, whew. Sony, what are you doing? Okay, so I have a few phones here. Let's go to the top-down camera, actually. This is a boring Nokia phone, old school, but flat, boring Nokia, old, real old. This right here is literally the first Nexus phone from Google. Before the Google phones were called Pixels, they were called Nexus. And you see how this it's just flat in the back. I would love to go back to that. I think cameras have gotten so good and so small that we can go back to a flat back and still have a, ooh, this cat hair, I'm sorry, you guys. Go to a flat back and still have a really good camera in there. It won't be the best, obviously, but still really good. And I loved the back of this Pixel. You can't really see, oh yeah, you can. You can see kind of the shimmer material or shimmer elements they have inside of the back here. It's not just a matte, not just a black, it's got like a, it's got some stuff in there. But even like this right here. Whoa. This right here is my favorite phone. If someone were to say, what's your favorite ever mobile phone? This would be it. This was the pinnacle to me of iPhone design. I'm not going to hold you. This is the iPhone 4S, the white edition here. And flat back again, like we just talked about. Very nice, decent camera on the back here. But this phone just was small, real small. You throw it in your front pocket or back pocket, didn't matter. Pinnacle. So flat designs are good and were good. And I think there's still, I don't know what this is and why it's there. But here we go with the corner. This is one of my older iPhones here. This is what I'm talking about with the corners of the see, peak design case on the iPhone, because I just rock with the iPhones. And this peak design wallet will fit there as well. So that's why I continue to buy peak design cases. They're the best. They feel good, they protect good, they work good, super functional. I love them. But taking this thing out of the case here. So you can see it has the camera bump in the corner here. So it's not level. You know what I mean? So when you put it on a table, you know what I'm saying? You're just wobbling all. I don't like it. So I throw it in the case right here. It levels the whole thing out. Oh no. Okay, my bad. Whoa. Even Peak Design couldn't fix that. So they're designed for this. Put a little border around there so it doesn't make it level. Yeah, it's still rocking. It's still rocking. So you get the point. I'd rather not have a camera bump, but if I'm gonna have one, I want it to be across the whole front, across the whole back, so it doesn't wobble on a table when I try to type, or just put it down somewhere. I don't want that at all. Looking at red Magic phones, it is possible, but corporate greed won't let it in. Yeah, the Nexus series was so good, says Owen. Yeah, it was. The Nexus series was good. Even Samsung made a Nexus device. That Nexus wasn't made by Samsung. I think that phone made by OTC. But Samsung made a lot of Google phones that were really good. They made a Play Store edition of the Galaxy S that was so good. It was a Galaxy phone, but without all the crap bloatware that Samsung puts on their Galaxy phones. It was just a vanilla Android experience. Oh, it was great. Those were good times. Yes, Serotonin. Yes, welcome to the revolution. Flat camera bumps is it too difficult? I just want a phone with flush sides. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. We could go back to that. But these companies are so obsessed with the best optics they can put in there, they don't care about it protruding anymore. Which is, like I said, we could put a really good camera in phones and have it flush in the back. They don't want that. I like the Nexus 1. Oh, the Nexus 1 was such a good phone. It was such a good phone. Let's take a look at that. The Nexus 1 was such a good phone. Oh, here we go. Like, look at that thing. I love this phone. I really did. I had that phone. The Nexus line was just really good. It was just really good. All right, what else we got here? We got a foldable iPhone display size, and we got a leak on what it could and could not be. Now, I'm going to say this. When people talk about Apple Foldable, my initial thought was, yeah, Apple could come out with a foldable, and that's really all Apple has. Apple hasn't even come out and said they're going. Yeah, they have come out and said that they're going to do a foldable, but they didn't talk about what it was, whether it was a tablet that folds into a phone size, or was it a phone that folded into a smaller size, right? So, I mean, I'm leaving the gate open for an iPad that folds down. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, everyone thinks it's an iPhone. And as far as the specs go, let's take a look at what they think, on what everyone thinks the specs are going to be for here. This is coming from Mac Rumors here, and all of these links are in the description of the video if you want to know. Also, if anyone wants to join the conversation, they have a question they want to put out on the air. We do have a Discord link in the description here, and also down there is a link to the events channel, and that events channel is live right now. And if you go into that events channel and raise your hand, I'll know you want to say something, and you can have your voice. You can have your opinion voiced on the live stream. So that's an option to anyone who has an opinion or a comment about any of the stories that we're covering here today. All right, let's get back to this. So Apple's first foldable iPhone will be equipped with a 7.8-inch inner display, which means it folds out to 7.8 inches. We're talking Google Nexus 7. That was a good device. The Nexus 7 was good. That was the perfect tablet size. Moving on though, and a 5.5-inch outer display, according to Taiwanese research firm TrendForce. Apple supply chain analyst Ming-Chin Kuo already mentioned those same display sizes for the foldable iPhone in March, meaning that there are now multiple sources backing those sizes, so long as TrendForce is not simply copying what Kuo said. Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 has a 8-inch inner screen and a 6.5-inch outer screen. And they're mentioning that because Apple buys their displays from Samsung, so it might make sense that they're going with a display that Samsung has already used for one of their particular phones. But knowing Apple, they want something custom, so 5.5-inch it is. TrendForce says Apple will likely launch the foldable iPhone in the second half of 2026, so the device could debut in September of next year. So we might get some more information, obviously, before the end of the year. We may get some kind of confirmations at their fall event when they announce the new iPhones. So, and analysts think that's going to happen around September 8th. So kind of look forward around that time. Next up we have here is going to be, what do we got? Proton launches privacy-focused AI chatbot called Lumo. So let's go ahead and check this out. And this report right here is coming from The Verge here. Proton launches a privacy-focused AI chatbot. And if you may be asking the same thing that I asked when I first read this is, who is Proton? Unless you already know, but I didn't. So I had to find out who Proton was. Proton. It's a, Proton is an AG. It's not an, I'm thinking AG, Agentic AI, but that's not what it is. Proton AG is a privacy-focused company based in Switzerland. They offer secure email, Proton Mail, which we're going to talk about, a VPN, cloud storage, calendar, and password manager. So it's kind of like the services that Google would offer. Prioritizes user privacy and security by using end-to-end encryption and other privacy-enhanced strategies like zero access technologies. Relies on revenue from paid plans to fund its operations and development. So that's kind of what Proton is. And here's their website here, where you can create a free account. So you don't need to pay for the services, but you can create a free account there. And if you're interested, go check that out, proton.me. But for this particular story, we're going to be talking about a couple of their, what they actually offer and what this chatbot is going to do and how it's going to be different than the other chatbots we have here. So let's take a look at this. Proton, behind the encrypted email service Proton Mail, has launched an AI assistant aimed at preserving user privacy. The new chatbot, called Lumo, can summarize documents, generate code, write email, and more while storing data locally on users' devices. Proton says it will protect this information using zero access encryption, which grants users an encryption key that only they can use to view their content, preventing third parties, including Proton, from accessing the information. This helps ensure that Proton can't share user data with advertisers or governments or use it for training large language models, Proton says, which is cool. So I guess they're starting in a good spot with the privacy, right? Though Lumo comes with the ability to search the web, Proton turns this feature off by default to give users maximum privacy. If users enable the feature, Lumo will search the web for answers using privacy-friendly search engines. Additionally, Proton says Lumo can analyze uploaded files, but it doesn't save any of the information. Users can link Proton Drive files to Lumo as well, which are supposed to stay end-to-end encrypted when interacting with the chatbot. Proton positions its AI chatbot as an alternative to the ones offered by larger companies like OpenAI's ChatGPT, Meta's AI, Google's Gemini, and Microsoft's Copilot. Big Tech is using AI to supercharge the collection of sensitive user data. Well, that's what someone else is saying. Lumo is powered by several open source large language models that run on Proton servers in Europe, including Minstrel's Nemo, Minstrel Small 3, NVIDIA's OpenHand 32B, and Allen Institute for AI's OLMO 232B model. That was a mouthful. I'm not going to hold you. The AI chatbot will field requests through different models depending on which is better suited for the query. For instance, programming-related questions are handled by OpenHands, which specializes in coding tasks. Proton spoke, well, that's someone else on my side too. All right, so to get access, you can access Lumo by heading to lumo.proton.me or downloading the Lumo app for iOS or Android. Users who don't have an account with Lumo or Proton can only ask the chatbot a limited number of questions per week. They won't be able to access they won't be able to access their chat histories. Meanwhile, users with a free Proton account can view an encrypted chat history, upload small files, and favorite a limited number of chats. There's also a $12.99 per month Lumo Plus plan for access to unlimited chats, extended encrypted chat history, unlimited favorites, and the ability to upload large files. So this seems pretty interesting. I won't hold you. This definitely seems pretty interesting, chat. What do we think? Privacy-focused chatbot. Are you interested? I don't know what you'd be giving up for this. It doesn't seem like it's using popular models that we use here. But then again, those models share data. So I guess that would be the reason why you wouldn't use the popular models that are from here. Would you use a chatbot that cared more about privacy than anything else? Do you value that kind of thing, chat? What's going on with you? I used to use Proton VPN. Well, you know what though? I did a little bit of more digging into this Proton thing, and their mail was probably the biggest. Their mail client was probably the biggest thing that they do, right? And according to Google here, people use Proton Mail for its strong focus on privacy and security, primarily due to its use of end-to-end and zero-access encryption. This means that only the sender and recipient can read the emails, and even Proton Mail itself cannot access the content of users' email. Additionally, Proton Mail is based in Switzerland, which has strong data protection laws, and it offers features like two-factor authentication and anti-phishing controls. So they're all in on the privacy for what they're doing. Mr. Mike says, no, I really do not care. I don't care. Like, I don't really care that much about the privacy. Like I said, I've resolved to give up my info years ago. When I started using Google exclusively for a lot of my calendar stuff and mail, like, okay, I'm like, you know what? I know they're doing whatever they want with my data. I have to accept that fact if I want to continue to use this service. And so I did. I know that's not good enough for a lot of people. Let's go to the chat here. Duroc says, how's it going, Duroc? What they also care about is as thin a device as possible. True. I doubt they make a back flat to accommodate optics and make a phone thicker. True. I agree with that. Aesthetics is a big factor here. They want to make the phone as thin as possible, but they also want the best cameras they can have in it, which leads to the bump. You know, you're going to make a sacrifice for that. I have never forgiven Google for canceling after my Nexus 6. Oh, you bought a Nexus 6? Those were good. I had a Nexus 6 and a Nexus 7, the tablet. Good devices, man. Working with it, it was just so fun having those two things. It was so good. Owen says, hot take. I really think the Pixel 9a and the iPhone 16e demonstrate that non-pro users only need need one 48 megapixel camera that does everything. Those phones look great. I wouldn't even say 48 megapixel. Listen, I think you can get away with 24. Honestly, half that. 24, because, I mean, I don't know. Megapixels are good. Samsung's been pushing the limits of megapixels for a long time. That hasn't made their pictures look better than Google's, and they're only using 12. I think Google's using a 12 megapixel. They're doing a lot of trickery with their 12 megapixel though. Like they're quad pixels. You know what I'm saying? They're actually 4 pixels in one. So I guess it turns out to be 48 megapixels. So never mind. Never mind. After the Pixel 5, Owen says we should encourage people to buy DSLR again. No, we shouldn't. Let's get away from DSLR. DSLRs are bulky. Throw a DSLR into a phone, someone will buy it. I'm sure. It won't fit anywhere but in your bag, but someone will buy it. Serotonin says after Pixel 5 series, I hated Google, but 9A design is slightly in the right direction, but they may deviate completely in terms of design from 10 series. That said, I personally like it. I personally like the way they're going. Like I said, going all in on that camera bump. Cool. Kudos to them. But I know it won't be for everybody. Foldable software is getting pretty good. It's about time they should up the hardware game too. Yeah, it's one of the trade-offs you make when you get a foldable is the processor isn't going to be as good as the flagship phone, right? The screen quality isn't as good. That's changing though. I know that was the case when they first started shipping them. The sound usually isn't as, and like you make a lot of concessions for the foldable aspect of these phones. I'm hoping at some point you won't have to make any sacrifices, right? The foldable will just be the flagship, but foldable. It's going to cost you, right? But yeah. Mr. Mike says, no, I'd give up on privacy. I've given up on privacy. Absolutely, man. I think living in today's world, you have to make peace with that at some point. Like I said, I know a lot of people who are still hanging on, like, I'm fighting for my privacy. But the forces that be are all over privacy's butt. They on privacy's butt. And they're like, no, no privacy in today's world. But in all honesty, I would give up. I resolved to give up my privacy because I felt like they were going to do something good with the data. That's the point. AI is the point. I'm really like, okay, cool. Use my data to get insights into what I really need, right? So that I don't have to do all that myself. And not that I could even do all of that myself. I'm hoping that AI does a better job than even I can do. Slam Down, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Man, I just threw my Nexus 6 in the bin yesterday. To this day, it has been my favorite. Oh, are you serious? Did you see my Nexus? Did you see my, it's dead, right? But I keep it because I love this. I keep this as a reminder to what life used to be. That's what life used to be. The Rock says, I care about privacy, but I know it's just absolute. I give up privacy if it's worth it by app. Okay, cool. I use Google and the cost is they know my search history. Gotta pay to play. That, you hit the nail on the head, The Rock. You gotta pay to play. And the cost is your privacy. Mosi. Oh, thanks for showing up. How's it going? Apple will release a foldable this year. Yeah, yep. Well, not this year. Next year, 2026. They're coming out with a foldable. Supposedly a foldable iPhone. Like, no one's confirmed that yet, but everyone thinks it's going to be an iPhone. Currently, with the latest iPad OS beta, I have iPad mini that is essentially used as a phone. Yes, because they can make calls now. Perfect. The iPad is this is the year the iPad became a computer. I have an article on my website, redspottech.com. We can even take a look at that. I have an article up here where I talk about the year iPad became a computer. And this outlines all of the things that make the iPad a computer. It's a computer now. Everything I've been complaining about for the iPad, for all the power they put into the iPad, is like, oh, You know, we talk about every year, oh, the iPad is the new M4 chip. Well, who cares? If it can't do computer type stuff, it's still just an iPad. You know what I mean? But now, with these new features, Alex, how's it going? Thanks for joining. But now with these new features, the iPad is it's a computer now. It's a big screen that's a computer. You got I/O connection. You can use regular thumb drives with this thing. You can it does proper multitasking now. It has options to deal with voice and video input and output. All the things. It has a file system now. It has proper windows. It has a proper cursor. You can resize the windows. It's just so much. It's a computer now. It's a Mac now. And on top of that, when you think about how Apple has just integrated their operating systems, right? They're taking the design language of all the operating systems and meshing them together and dispersing those throughout all their products, right? With Apple Liquid Glass. All of these features, they're going to share all of these features. Mobile is going to share features with the Mac. Mac is going to share features with mobile. It's going to be one ecosystem that you're going to be able to do everything. Now, will the device you have on you at the time be powerful enough to do what you want to do is going to be the only question. Not, can this thing do it? Of course it can do it. How well will it do it is the only thing we're going to be concerned with in the future. Owen says, currently with the latest iPad OS, but yeah, okay. Owen says, I crazy how good 26 actually is. 26? I don't know what 26 is. Let me know. All right, so what else we got here, you guys? We talked about Proton. And we don't care about privacy in our chatbots because that's who cares. Free Microsoft update today. Okay, let's talk about the free Microsoft update today, guys. So I talked about this story last week. We touched on this when we talked about a movement of people being disgusted with Microsoft requiring you to upgrade to Windows 11 from Windows 10. And the backlash was because Windows 11 has such high spec requirements, right? The spec requirements for your machine are so high for Windows 11 that a lot of corporations and a lot of just people who have them don't want to upgrade their machine just to upgrade to the new operating system are like, this is unfair. This is not going to be good. A lot of people are just going to be throwing out a whole bunch of machines, which is going to cause and create a whole bunch of e-waste. And that is what people were upset about and they're trying to prevent. So Microsoft basically heard all of that and decided to do this. So let's talk about it. What do we got here? Free Microsoft update, and this is all happening today. So this is something you can all do today if you are on Windows 10. You can upgrade your Windows 10 devices with some caveats, and there's a catch to this, and let's get to that. Microsoft opened enrollment for Windows 10 Extended Security Update program. Users who are still on Windows 10 can sign up to receive security updates for the additional year at no extra cost. This program, the Windows Extended Security Program, is a program that they came up with already. So this has already been in the mix. The new part about this is that you can get this for free because previously you had to pay $30 for it. Or be a subscriber to one of their Microsoft programs. I forget which one it is, but there was caveats to it before. Now you can get it for free, and there's even a caveat for that too, as we'll see here. Windows 10 supports ends on October 14, 2025. After that date, devices will no longer receive security updates or support unless enrolled in the Windows 10 ESU program that we just got done talking about. While the PCs will continue to function, they will become increasingly less secure and vulnerabilities are left unpatched. The Windows 10 ESU program first announced last year with Microsoft originally setting the cost at $30 per device per year. That price remains the same, but there is now a new option for enroll for free. In order to receive Windows 10 security updates for free for 1 year, people will have to sync their PC settings data to the cloud by using a Microsoft account. So you're required to have a Microsoft account if you want to do this, and you have to be willing to sync your Windows settings to their cloud servers. Starting today, individuals will begin to see an enrollment wizard through notifications and in settings, making it simple to select the best option for you and enroll in ESU directly from your personal Windows 10 PC. This option includes syncing settings to the cloud to receive a year of Windows 10 security updates for free, or paying $30 per device to receive the same updates. So yes, it's free for you to do, but there are some caveats. You have to have a Microsoft account, and you also have to have, which obviously you don't need a Microsoft account to run Windows, right? But you have to have a Microsoft account, and you got to be willing to sync your Windows settings. What have we got in the chat here? He said, Mr. Mike says it looked like liquid ASS. It does. It's I said this. I think I might have mentioned this in the article I brought up too. It's basically the glass that they've been going with, the glass UI they've been going with frosting, right? And the borders shimmer like chamfered metal would in light. Who cares? It didn't make it, but you know what? The glass UI, or the liquid glass UI is, I mean, it's whatever, right? But to me, they need to change the overall formula of OS, the iOS. It just needs to be different. They've been rocking with the same thing for like 8 years. And it hasn't changed. Night 26 is their unified operating system number, like how far they've taken interoperability between your Mac, iPad, and OS. Okay, yeah, 26. 26 OS 26 is the unified operating system, and I like it. I like that they're unifying things. I'm really glad they decided to do that, and it's something they should have done a long time ago. I just think they had barriers to doing it, and now they've crossed those or cleared those hurdles, and they're able to bring it to the masses. I love the look. I am gonna need you both to back all the way off my butt about it. That look is garbage. Mike, back me up. That look is garbage. They need to do better. Apple needs to do better. For all the money they have, they need to get. You know what happened? Johnny Ive left, and there ain't been no direction for iOS since then, which is why they haven't changed it. They're like, Johnny Ive came up with this. Johnny Ive was the last person involved in charge of iOS and the UI. He was the last. They put him in charge when they realized how trash it was becoming. They put him in charge. He fixed it for a time, but now it's getting old and dated. Even he would have updated how it looks, because he's not stagnant. Johnny Ive is someone who's always evolving, always iterating, and he would have done something about that by now. Apple hasn't, because Johnny Ive is gone, and they're like, this is the last great thing we've had. We're not changing until we have another great thing. This ain't it, Jack. This ain't it. Or it says all the way off. Oh, listen, I gotta give you some grief, Owen. I don't get a chance. I don't get too much of an opportunity to do this, so I got to do it on the iPhone tip. All right, what else we got here, you guys? Last up, we got dual screen retro handheld. So let's go ahead and talk about it. What do we got here? Let's check this thing out. So we got the dual screen handheld here called the One-X Sugar, and this is by a company I had never heard of before. So I had to do some research on them as well, from One-Netbook. Okay, can we just, why the generic name One-Netbook? You know what? I get that they're making, never mind. They're making netbooks. That's on me. So anyway, this One-X Sugar by One-Netbook. And if you don't know who One-Netbook is, like I said, I didn't either. So here we go together. One-Netbook is a company that designs and manufactures high-performance mini laptops, often categorized as UMPCs or ultra mobile PCs. I'm glad we're done with that category of PCs. That made my head hurt thinking about it. And pocket laptops. They're known for their compact yet powerful devices like the One Mix series and the One-X Player gaming handheld. So they make handhelds and modular small PCs. The company is founded by a group of senior hardware engineers and have served well-known brands like IBM and Haier, according to One-X Player. All right, so, and here's their site here. I'm just looking at a couple of the things. I was just kind of browsing through, seeing what they had, the most impressive stuff they got is gaming. So I understand why they went out the window with this one. So let's take another look. So from what I get from this thing right here, it's a lengthy article here. But overall, the reviewer, and it's coming from The Verge here. Again, these stories are down in the description if you want to link to them. Essentially, what the reviewer is saying, he likes it, loves the build quality, loves the ability of having two screens, a la DS, Nintendo DS style. If you guys remember the Nintendo DS, this is up your alley right here. He was worried about the way it transforms. You can see here it does some pretty wonky stuff as far as it transforms. Let's go ahead and play this here. It does some pretty wonky stuff as far as how it transforms. He was concerned about that, but after using it for a while, those concerns went away. It doesn't have the Google Play Store right now, but it will when it launches, which is one of the drawbacks he had. He couldn't test it totally the way that he would have wanted to. And I would have liked to see how it would have acted with some of the mobile games, right? But obviously emulators he had working on it. He had it doing a whole bunch of stuff as we can see here. Works pretty well. He was happy with it. This is just a prototype. So this is not the final version of this particular handheld right here. They're supposed to make it more sturdy. So he liked the build quality, but it's going to get even better. They're going to have the Google Play Store, like I just mentioned, when it launches. And it's supposed to have some native software, obviously, that you can run without having to know how to emulate a particular software. So that's going to be great for just out of the box using. I think it's cool. I was enthralled by the look of it and thought, I got to find out what this thing is. I find out the two screens, like I said, it reminded me of the DS. Super nostalgia throwback vibes on this thing. But interesting. I'm going to keep an eye on this and see what actually happens with it in the future. Any comments on this, you guys? Again, we have the Discord link open at the bottom down there if you want to jump in the Discord, join the conversation. We also have a link down there that takes you to the events channel in the Discord where you can raise your hand and I can see that and allow you to, or pick you to say something on the air. So that's an option. Kind of like a call-in, like a radio call-in thing. I'm going to get better at that. We're going to, yeah, the name is not good. Yeah, Mike, I agree with you. The name is not good at all. Owen says silly name for tax reasons and Chinese firms that cannot English so good. True. I totally attribute this to a lot of foreign entities that just they don't know the naming conventions of things, or their naming convention is just something good in the country that they're originating from. So I get that. I still think it's stupid. I still don't like it. I get why they're doing it. I understand it's not their fault, but I don't care. I really do not care. All right, what else we got here? And that was it for the tech news of the day, you guys. We got through the tech news in an hour. That took too long. We need to get through tech news in like 30 minutes. I'm trying to get better at that. We'll try. Let's get on to some eInk stuff, shall we? All right, so on with eInk stuff. It's not eInk news per se, unless you guys got some eInk. What do we have out there? What's hot right now? What's the hotness? Anybody know any hot topics in eInk right now? I know of none, except for my own experiences, which we're going to talk about here. But if you got any eInk news, you can throw it right there in the chat. You can jump inside the Discord event channel and throw it there, or say it there, and we'll talk about it. But yeah, so that's an option for everyone there. Let me see. Is this open? It is open. All right. My first thing is the Go 10.3. So we're going to take a look at this real quick, and I'm going to just do a on-air demo of the Go 10.3 and my issues that I've been having. All right, so we're going to use my promos thing here as a test. Where's my pen? Here we go. All right. So here we go. I've been having a few issues. Now, I've been using the Remarkable Paper Pro to do my live show on, so I've been just using it primarily for that, and so I've gotten a lot of use out of it the last couple of weeks, and a lot of quirks, a lot of things I'm noticing there. But one of those quirks upset me to no end today. You know what? Matter of fact, we might as well talk about that first. Let me get to a page here. Can we talk? Oh, I can't get to it. Yeah, we're going to have this here. So one of the quirks is the fact that the eraser on the Remarkable Paper Pro. So erasing on the Remarkable Paper Pro, and I mentioned this, I think earlier this week, it's just not good. They need to do something about the erasing function because, let me just show you. Let me just show you what I mean. We can go over here. There we go. So when I'm writing something, we'll just use hello world. So we got hello world here. Now, say I want to delete the hello world and say hello big world. So I get done writing hello big world. I meant to put big or hello world. I meant to put big world. So I can go erase, which sucks. You see that? You see the stopping and the flickering that happened just now before it registered that I was writing something new. Let's try it again. So we're going to do, I almost got through world before it recognized that I was writing. Now, not a big deal, right? Not a big deal. You might be thinking to yourself, Rod, you're complaining about nothing. What are we talking about here? I would say that's not nothing. When you're writing, and let's say I did it a lot. Oh, I didn't mean to say Rod. I meant to say Roderick. Okay, now now I'm interrupted. Okay. Now you get what I'm saying. You add that up over the time that you're writing. Out of all the times you have to erase and go and write, it's a hiccup. It breaks your flow. You don't like it. It messes up your feng shui. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. So when I was writing the show this morning, I kept having to wait. I'd erase, wait for it to flicker, and then, okay, I'm good. You know, and then go on with what I'm doing. That is just not good. Okay, that is just not good. Something else I noticed. Let's look at that. Something else I noticed here. Erasing is such a huge problem. It doesn't erase all of the time, and sometimes what you erase comes back while you're writing over it. So, just an example. I don't know what I was writing, but I was writing something, and let's just say my name. We'll just say I'm writing my name here. It sucks, but. So I'm writing Rod. I make a mistake. I go to write it again. Now, what happened was a few times when I was writing, I'd go and erase. It would erase it, and I'd start writing, and what I had erased would pop back up over what I was writing. It happened more than a few times. And it's probably when you're in the flow of doing a lot of different things, like I'm just writing, and it's documenting a lot of strokes, right? And I can understand that it may get laggy at times when you're writing really fast and you're doing a lot of things like erasing, selecting, moving. But I don't have this problem on any other of my eInk devices. I mean, I'm having a problem with the 10.3 right now, but we'll talk about that in a second. But I don't have that erasing problem with any of the other devices. So that tells me that this should be something that you can rectify. Again, this is a gallery screen, gallery 3 screen. I get that it's not perfect for writing, and all intents and purposes, they probably should have just gone with another technology. Whatever. The flickering that it has to do because they're using a gallery display is just not conducive to a flow of writing. It's just not. When was the last time you restarted the device or checked for updates? So I restarted the device. Actually, we can restart it right now. I restarted the device maybe once a month. I check for updates, though, every day that I'm using. Well, of the main 3 devices, Remarkable, Onyx, and Supernote, I check for updates on those every morning. Whoa. But I haven't restarted this device in a while. So let's try that. Okay, it went from I guess there is no shutdown thing. It just does a restart, which is okay. I'm all right with that. All right, so it's loading right now. But that's the thing I've been noticing there. Let's get back here. Let me get back to where we were. Oh, you know what? I always forget. Let me just put this up there. I always forget that Remarkable has a favorites and a recents tab, which you do with a double finger tap or pull down from the top, and it shows you your recent documents, and you can get to your favorites as well right here. So yeah, I always forget that that's a thing, but yeah, we can use that. All right, so we're back on this. We're back on this screen right here. Let's try to. There we go. Let's try that again. No, yeah, it's not because I haven't restarted it. It's just something that is there because of the Gallery 3 screen. But the fact that when you try to erase something, and you can see that the line quality is sometimes sketchy too. Like I've been writing asterisks a lot, obviously, but when I write a few of them, occasionally I'll try to write one, and it'll stutter while I'm writing. It'll only capture one or two of the strokes. It's very hit or miss. But that right there is not hit or miss, and that just destroys flow. What else we got here? We got writing sometimes appears inconsistent when making your initial strokes, which is what I was just talking about with the with writing, and it's skipping some of the strokes that I make. It only happens in the initial when I initially start writing, but once I'm going, it doesn't happen. But if I haven't been writing for a second or two and I go to write, it doesn't register some of the strokes. Eraser lag, which we just talked about. You have to go to Pages view to add a page to your notebook. Now, this is something I really don't like, okay? Now, say I'm doing this, and I want to add a page in between this page right here and this page right here. In order to do that, there is no option in the toolbar for me to just simply add a page. I have to go to the Pages view. I have to add a page, which is then go back to the Pages view because it added it and it took me out of the Pages view. Then I have to select the page, say I want to move it, and then pick where I want to move the page to, and then pick what orientation I want to move the page in after I pick where I want to move it to, before or after that page. This is too complicated. This is too much. It's way too much. I should have the ability to be on a page and just have a plus mark here. Let me just get this back here a little bit. There should just be a plus mark over here in the toolbar somewhere that when I hit it, asks me where I want to add the page, before or after this page. And if it just defaultly did it after the page, I would be okay with that too, because I would always go to the page I'm on and know that it's going to put the page after that. But just a plus sign, a little plus sign right here to add a page. So I ain't got to go jump through 18,000 different hoops to get a page on here. It's just ridiculous. That made me so mad. It made me so mad that I decided I almost went with a different tablet to write my show with today, but I was like, I told myself I'd give it a while. I'm trying. I really am. I'm trying. I didn't like that. But you also starting to write while it's refreshing. Yes, Aaron, but that's the problem. Why do I have to wait for a refresh to write? There's no other device that you have to do that with. I get why they're doing it. It may even be a noble, legit reason. Who cares? Who cares? It breaks the flow. And when I can go grab the Remarkable 2, I'm telling you right now, you guys, the Remarkable 2 is still killing the Remarkable Paper Pro in functionality. Just it's a rock. Just reliable. I don't have these problems with the Remarkable 2. And Aaron, that's another issue too. Why do I have to deal with problems in your new product that I didn't have to deal with in your old product? Isn't the new product supposed to be better? That's the assumption. Isn't the new product supposed to be better? And in most cases, yeah. If you come out with a new, could you imagine The new Go 10.3 not being better than the old one? Could you imagine that? But that's what happened with the Remarkable Paper Pro. It's just not as reliable. The experience is not as good for writing. I get that, Aaron. I get that. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. When I can go grab their 5-year-old device and not have that problem, this device isn't refreshing when I erase. It doesn't do that. And this is 5 years older than this one. Nah, that's ridiculous. The new device, you should not have to make concessions on. You shouldn't have to make excuses for the new device. Like the old device, yeah. But not the new one. Come on. Jay, how's it going? Thanks for joining. I just got done talking crap about the Remarkable Paper Pro. You just missed it. I went in. You missed it. But basically, I was just saying that, we were talking about the problems that the Remarkable Paper Pro is having with me writing with it. Like the line quality is inconsistent now with writing. Like I've noticed that a lot. The eraser problem that we were talking about even before. And Aaron was saying that it's, I'm writing while it's refreshing. And I guess my point is, why would the new device have a problem that the old device didn't have? Why are we creating new issues? In my mind, the new device is supposed to solve problems of the old device, not create new ones. Dude, I'm really just talking crap about the Remarkable Paper Pro. The Remarkable 2 is still one of my favorite devices, so we're good on that. Just the Remarkable Paper Pro is just it infuriates me all the time. All the time it infuriates me. Just writing. The Go 10.3. Let's get to this, because I got issues. Now again, I was writing with the Go 10.3, and I'm like, this has got to be my nib. My nib must be causing these problems. It ain't the nib. So let's get to it. All right, so my problems with eInk this week. Here we go. So I'm going to just write some things just so I'm not just going over other writing that I've done. Now, hello world, my name is Rando. So now, I don't know why this started happening, but just hold on. Let me put this down here. We got to get down close. Yeah, there we go. We got to get close. Let me get the cat hair out of here. Whoa. All right. All right, here we go. So now I'm going to use the button to select this and erase it. Oh boy. What happened? Oh, there we go. Oh, wow, it's not it's not doing it now. Oh, that's crazy. It's not doing it now. All right, so what was happening? Let's talk about it. What was happening, writing causes artifacting. So I would write and would cause artifacting on the screen, but it's not doing it now. Lasso erase causes blips. So let's do the lasso erase here. Yeah. Oh, no blips. Or maybe I need to be on the screen with writing. So let's check this out. Whoa. Oh, my mouse just fell. All right, so maybe we need to check this on things that I have writing on. So we're going to do it on this particular page right here. Let's back up a little bit. All right. Yeah, no problem. Okay, good. All right. One less issue to worry about. Okay, let's go on to the next thing here. Writing causes artifacting, and I couldn't recreate that either. So when I was writing this morning, after I was so fed up with the Remarkable Paper Pro, I grabbed the Go 10.3 and was like, okay, I'm doing my show on the 10.3 today. I started writing, Nothing. Oh man. Oh, there we go. Did you guys see that? I was about to say, holy, you're making me out to be a liar. 10.3. Did you guys see that? I wish I had a replay button. All right, we're gonna undo it and redo it again. Oh, I didn't do it that time. Okay, did you guys see that? Did you guys see the flickering on the screen, the artifacting? What happened was I erased it. Right after erased, it showed up in another spot. What was happening earlier is that I would erase something down here on the bottom of the screen. I would erase it. It would show up here, blink, come back down here, and then disappear. This time when I did that, it blinked almost in the same spot and then did some other weird stuff. Let's take a look at this again. Let me get down here. And it's not bad. It's just a hindrance. Okay, yeah, you guys saw that? It did it twice. I'm not sure what that is and why that's doing that, but it just started doing it. And it's not a big deal when you're just like in this, you got a small bit of text on the page. It was happening on pages I had written a mound of text on. It would show up over other text, come back down, and then kind of disappear. So it was never an issue to where it would mess up what I was writing. No. That's an issue, bruh. What, you didn't see it? Let me check it. Let me show you again. Let's show this again. I'm gonna show the whole bottom of the screen this time. Oops. Okay. When I do the lasso erase, now mind you, I'm nitpicking. I am nitpicking here. This is not a big deal. But when no other device, when I can use a device that, all right, you know what, I'm going to get to the point here after I do the demo. After I do the demo, I'm going to get to the point and we'll be done. Okay, so let's just get to it. So what's going to happen is just watch where I manipulate the text at. Whoops, that didn't work. Okay, did you see all that? While I was circling it, there was a circling effect of the text happening. Okay, I literally circled nothing. You guys saw hello pop up on the screen. All right, did we see that? And then it, yeah. So my thing is, that's not a big thing. Lots of things are happening. Text is showing up where it's not supposed to be. The lasso is appearing places I didn't draw it. Lots of weird things are happening, but it's not a big deal, right? Not a big deal. Other devices don't do it. That's why it's a big deal to me. Like, if I can use a device that doesn't do that, why is this one doing it? Like, we can make eInk devices that don't do it. Now this device doesn't normally do that. My point is that I think one of the updates that just happened have brought on some adverse effects. I guess that's the point I'm bringing up here. And I didn't notice it until today. So I know this wasn't the case a few days ago. It wasn't until I updated this device that happened. And that was me updating after the 4.1 update happened. So that was my complaint. Not a big deal, but it wasn't happening before. It is happening now, and I think it's due to the firmware. I've never seen that before. I've been using eInk for probably not as long as you have, Aaron. But I've never seen that before happen on any of my devices. That's a first. I've never seen the erasing thing happen. And that eraser thing is new for the Remarkable too, because when I first got the Remarkable, that wasn't a thing. If it was a thing, it happened quicker than this. It's becoming more apparent over time. No. 4.1 is not available on the Go 10.3 yet. I'm gonna look at the update I went to. I just got this update that happened. This happened last month. So this is a build number 2025-0618 14-27 4.0.2. But that was the update I did, and that's when I noticed those things happening. Yep, it was 4.0.2 J. And I mean, there's no other updates out that fixes that, but these are things I like to bring up. Like I have to find little things like this, especially if they weren't happening before and they're happening now. That's a problem. And as far as the Remarkable Paper Pro goes, they need to bring the Remarkable Paper Pro up to the level of the Remarkable 2. Like the standard they set with the Remarkable 2, the Remarkable Paper Pro is falling way below that. Way below that. I can't even. That's what I have, says Mr. Mike. Let me know if that happens with you as well. I initially thought it was the pen. I was like, oh my God, my crystal nib has failed me. Something happened. But then I went to go and write on the Note Air 4C and didn't have that problem. And then I tried the Tab Mini C as well. It didn't have that problem. So I'm like, okay, well, it's not the nib. It's definitely the software. And the Tab Mini C and the Note Air 4C are both on different firmwares than the Go 10.3. So there's another thing. All right, and that's it. Any other big e-ink thing happening in the world of e-ink today, you guys, that we want to talk about? I'm open for e-ink conversations today. If you do, throw it in the chat. Or, if you want to say it, Discord link below for the events channel. Jump in there, raise your hand, let me know you want to say something, and then we got you on a live show. If you have something pressing to say, that is. All right, let's get to the last thing we got here today, you guys. We're going to go on to the 3D printing settings. And this is something I was talking with Mr. Mike about yesterday, so this will be kind of interesting. Oh, you know what? I didn't go to the chat. Let's hit the chat real quick. Parmesan, is that beta on 10.3? Yeah, that is beta, Parmesan. And what else we got here? I'm seeing it too on Go 10.3. Seems to only happen on lasso erase, which I only rarely use, so never noticed it. Doesn't happen on stroke erase. No, it doesn't happen on stroke erase. Can you get me in before 11:30? LOL. Yep, let's do it. Let's do it, Jay. Throw the hand up. It won't let me select you otherwise. Actually, I can invite you. It'll let me invite. Oh, there you go. But hold on, let me go get that. Oh, that ain't there. Here they are. Let's get these headphones going, Jay. Here we go. Yeah, I think I'm on. I think it's connected already. That's great. Oh, no, it wasn't. Now we are. All right, Jay, hold on one second. Let me get you in there. All right, here we go. I think you should be able to come up now, Jay. Oh, there we go. Yep, we're good. Can you hear me? Oh, no, you can't hear me. Jay, can you hear me? Oh, good. All right, so yeah, did you have something to say about this particular topic? Oh, hold on, Jay. My bad. Let me switch over so everyone can see this. There we go. Okay. All right, there we go. We're good now.
So you were asking about stuff related to e-ink and so on.
Yeah.
So I wanted to let me see if I can make this work. There we go.
Oh, Parm's in here too. Parm, if you want to jump into the conversation, there's a hand option that you have to throw up to let me know you want to say something. Then I'll pull you up. My bad, Jay.
Yeah, no, no worries. So I wanted to show you guys something that a couple of things I've been working on. One of them is I think I've talked about this before. So I'm trying to the ultimate goal of all the stuff that I was doing with rectangular file, which I actually think I'm going to change the name of that software. We'll talk about that in a second. But like
Oh, okay.
all the ultimate goal of that is I'm trying to create an entire like ecosystem from like starting to write your stuff on your device, all the way up to you know, storage, like data storage and cloud syncing and etc. And all of the metadata stuff and annotation stuff that we do with rectangular file, and
Hmm.
have that entire chain of technology not involve Onyx. So to get to a point where you don't even need to use the Notes app,
Hmm.
um, because like
And for those, real quick, for those who don't know what we're talking about right now, so Jay right now is developing an app called Rectangular File, which is going to be able to be used with. Are we talking just ink devices that are exporting PDF files?
so that is a great question.
Hmm.
um, so hopefully not.
Okay,
Uh,
good, good.
so yeah, I have been working on the client side with Notable, which is it's a pretty rudimentary, like bare bones note-taking app, but
Hmm.
importantly, it uses the Onyx SDK in order to do lag-free real-time writing, just like the Notes app does.
Right.
Um, so and when you use that, and when everything is humming along happily and everything is fine, it works well.
Okay.
Um, but but Notable will not draw on anything other than an Onyx device because it depends on the Onyx SDK in order to make its magic happen. Um,
Mm.
so now you can get around this from sort of like an ecosystem perspective if you because of the fact that rectangular file doesn't care about where it gets its data from, as long as you give it like a picture or like a PDF, of whatever it is that you made, and you just
Hmm.
have an automatic way to get it in there, you're good. It doesn't care.
All right. So
Um,
we're not just talking about e-ink devices. This particular
no,
program could be used with anything that you can export PDFs
yeah,
from.
rectangular file can, yeah.
Awesome, awesome.
Anything that can,
And just to clarify too, for people viewing, this program is going to be used to convert handwritten PDF files or PDF
yep,
files you've got handwriting on to actual text to where you can actually do something digitally with it.
that's right.
Gotcha. Okay.
So like
Yep.
one of the examples, yeah, I was laughing about this yesterday because you were talking about basically, damn it, Rado, why can't I have highlighting mean something? And I wanted to be like, oh, you would like highlighting to mean something, would you? Well,
Mm.
have I got something for you?
Oh snap.
So yeah, so right, the current version of the software will anything that you highlight, it will turn into a to do in a to do app. So you
Wow.
highlight, yeah, so you highlight whatever it is you're thinking of, and in the background, what it'll do is after it finishes its text recognition, it'll say, okay, what was in a yellow box or in a yellow highlight region? And when it finds that, it will turn that individually into so like if you've ever used it's called CalDAV. If you've ever used like Apple's calendar
Yep.
to
Yep.
do
Hmm.
news,
Yep.
it's the same
The
protocol.
file format for their calendar app.
That's right.
Yep.
It's exactly the same protocol. So it will talk to a CalDAV server and sync with that, and then every time it gets something new from a highlight, it'll put it in there for you, and it will also anything that you put inside a green rectangle, it'll add that as a tag for that to-do item. So like
That's
if I put
nice.
yeah, if I write like rant about tech in a green box, and then I put order crystal nib from Rod, and then comma hint hint, and and then put that in yellow highlighting. It'll create a to do item in that CalDAV to do list with rants about tech as a tag for that to do item.
Okay.
Um, so that can be really really powerful if you know how to use it. And I think Ed could probably talk for a lot about how second brain techniques would be really useful for that. So, um, but so that's the state of that right now, and that will work. Again, all it cares about is do I have new PDF files coming in from something. It doesn't care that it's from Boox or whoever.
That's
So
great, and I'm so glad that it's going to work with with anything you can export a PDF file from, because that's going to make
Yeah.
it so useful to so many people.
Yeah, I mean, you can even, there's no reason you couldn't use this with iPads, right?
Right.
And so that was one thing. The other thing, like, but it's still, that doesn't feel as complete of an ecosystem to me, because you don't have an answer for, okay, well, what if I'm on an iPad? What if I'm on a non e-ink tablet device?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so something else I want to, well, I don't have time for it today, but at some point I want to talk about this Wacom Movink Pad 11 thing that I got, which is it's an Android tablet made by Wacom,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it has really high quality, like, next generation EMR in it.
So is
Um,
it the new one they just put out?
yes,
Okay, okay, because
there,
I've been
there's
seeing
even
commercials about
reviews.
that.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. See, I haven't seen any.
Yep.
I've
I've
been
seen advertisements on that in my feed.
Okay, so Ed was
Yeah.
saying he saw a couple ads. I haven't seen anything yet, but like,
Yeah.
but it seems like they're just being real quiet with this device for some reason. I gotta
Mm-hmm.
tell you, I mean, it's an OLED display for an emissive screen tablet. This thing is really nice, like
Okay.
really slick for like 450, like a little bit more than a 10.3. It is a really nice machine.
How's
I'm
the
gonna
software?
It's beautiful. I mean,
Okay.
it's basically pixel software. It's like they took like vanilla build of Android with like
Mhm.
no extra skin nonsense on it or
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The real calm, easy build of Android 14 in this case, and
Like
put it on
vanilla
there.
Android. Yep.
Yeah, and it's great. I'm gonna put out a video about this thing sometime I think this week,
Okay.
um, but that's an example, right, of something where it's like I can't use Notable on that, obviously, but
Right.
I can use other note taking applications. So the ideal thing to me would be, what if I could have a single note taking application that both works great on random Android devices as well as Onyx devices, because you put the Onyx
Yep.
SDK
Mm-hmm.
support in there, as well as iOS, because it was built with a cross-platform library that would work with anything, even desktop applications.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which man, this is gonna be great. I can't wait.
there's two existing examples of this. One of them is an application called Saber,
Okay.
um, and the other one is called Linwood Butterfly. And so Saber is pretty. It's I would say it's not as full featured as, say, the Boox Notes app,
Mm-hmm.
um, but it is completely cross-platform. It does have Onyx SDK support built in, but it's as if you're using Boox Rapid Draw. Like, it's really rudimentary, where you
Oh.
just get like thin black lines
Mm-hmm.
in real time, and then it redraws it. Somebody has hacked in better support, where it's like I draw red and I get red, and I draw like heavy and I get heavy. Um, but every time I've tried to get it working, it breaks, and it seems to break like other aspects of the application. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a whole lot to report on that right now. I can just tell you guys that I'm working on it. But
Okay.
so that's one. And then Linwood Butterfly doesn't have Onyx support at all, but is like very, very, very full featured. To the point that, like, I open this application and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like, it does everything that you can think of.
Right.
But
And just so everyone's know, again, we're talking about rectangular file system where it converts PDF, handwritten PDF files to text files for you, and a whole bunch of other bells and whistles. So, all right, I'm
yeah, yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no. So yeah, and I have to go here in a sec, but like just saying, like, there is, like, I think on the horizon, the possibility with different other client side applications like Notable, like Saber, like Linwood Butterfly,
Mm-hmm.
um, this possibility to have all of your note taking take place on cross-platform systems, or at the very least on systems that are not actually beholden to Onyx or beholden to
Right. Right.
Ratta or whoever, right? Um,
So
that
you can put your files anywhere.
that you can put your files anywhere, you can have access to your files anywhere, right? One of the
Mm-hmm.
things about, like one of the things about the Go 7 and the Go Color 7 too, and I'm gonna shut up here soon, but like, is that, like, even if they're not amazing note taking platforms on themselves, right, because of the USI stuff, um, you still have the Notes app on those devices, which means
Right.
that at the very least you can read the stuff that you put in, right? But like I can't do that on anything else. Like you know, I could open my Pixel, I could open whatever, and the only way I can go right now, and this is me specifically personally, the only way I can go and look at my notes is I can log into my rectangular file server and I can go look at the stuff that's already been uploaded.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But that's it, right? I don't have access to those notes any other way on devices that are not Onyx devices, which kind of sucks, right? That's
Yeah. Yeah.
that's one
Okay, so
thing.
you can pull those in to whatever
Yeah,
device you want. Oh
right.
wow.
Exactly. Exactly. So
Okay.
because like of the fact that they all sync with WebDAV, they use the same protocol that I used for the to-dos and rectangular file, but they all sync with WebDAV, which means that like yeah, you install this on multiple devices. You can install it on your Mac, you can install it on your Windows machine, whatever, and the same application will open as opens on your Onyx device or on your other tablet or on your iPad, and it is all the same data.
Gotcha.
You can get access to it, you can read it, you can write on it, whatever it is you need to do.
That's going to be
Um,
so good, man. I know for myself and a whole bunch of other people that just having something that would convert our PDFs into
yes,
text is going to be priceless. And then having it do all these other things too, and being able to pull them in to whatever device we want,
yep,
from whatever device we want. It's Jay,
yep.
you're doing the world a service right now. I
Well,
appreciate you.
cross all your fingers that I can get it freaking working because it's been a real bear to make it work. But
Well, I
yeah,
got confidence in you, bro. I know you can get it done. Whether you get it done or not is not even a question to me. I know you're going to get it done. It's just a matter of when, and I'll be happy to get it whenever you do get it done.
I I appreciate the vote of confidence. All right, I gotta go,
Absolutely,
man.
man.
Thank you.
All right, man. Take care. Thanks for being on, man.
Yes, sir. All right, bye.
All right, peace. All right, everybody. So that was Jay from the Discord and from his own channel, Not a Professional Jay on YouTube. He's working on Rectangular File, which is a program that's going to do just kind of what we were talking about. It's going to be able to take. So what happens is when you use eInk devices and you export those files, they're exported as handwritten PDF files. What he's going to do is make it so you'll have something to do with those handwritten PDF files. They'll already be automatically converted to text for you. Your highlights will be all automatically converted to to-dos, and a whole bunch of other things that he's talking about. It's bringing a Boox PDF file, handwritten file, into a Supernote device or something like that. Cross-platform sharing of notes and documents. That's going to be great. So that's what we were talking about there. Jay's the developer of that program, and I'm super looking forward to getting that in my hands. And I'm definitely going to interview him on the channel when he gets it all said and done, and so he can tell us all of the little aspects of that particular, the smaller details of that particular product. Thanks again, Jay. All right, everybody. Let's I think we're wrapping up here. I think that's going to be the show for today. What did we? Oh, no. We got one more thing. You guys. We got 3D printing to talk about. Yesterday, I was talking about 3D printing settings, and I'm going to bring up those settings right now, actually. Let's get this up here. Yesterday, we were talking about 3D print settings, and I was talking about how I was fixing my prints and making my prints a little bit better. And what I was doing was reducing the border that the actual program would create around anything that had angles. So if it had an angle in it, it would create a border around it. And before it would even start to create that angle, there would be a flat border, and then it would create the angle instead of just starting the angle right from the start. You know what I mean? It wouldn't do that. So I started messing with some settings, found the transition layer setting, found the bottom layer setting, and I adjusted those. So let's go ahead and take a look at those settings real quick. Oh, are we there? This is definitely not the one I wanted. Oh, let's get this together, you guys. Oh, it's the display. Wrong display. Okay, I can't get it to display this. We're going to try to find this program here. 1 second. All right. Wow. Okay, so this window, it seems to be out of reach for me. Can we get it? Wow. All right, my bad, you guys. So I won't be able to show you the screen, but I did come across a couple tidbits that I wanted to share with you. This is definitely not working. I'm not sure why. All right, anyway, there's a couple tidbits I wanted to share. So one of the things I wanted to share was about rafts. And I can't even pull up my other 3D or my other slicer. My bad, chat. I wanted to have this up and able for you to view, but I'm having technical difficulties with this demo. Oh, there we go. Okay. So if I can get my screen up, we might be able to see this. Again, we're going to be talking about 3D settings here. I'm just trying to get this screen up and going really quickly. There we go. Okay. There we go. There we go, chat. Okay. All right. So 3D print settings. So the other day we were talking about 3D print settings, and I was talking about these settings right here. I was talking about the bottom layer count, which is this right here. And I was also talking about the transition layer count, which is this right here. Now I have that's at the 0 right now. And that fixed my problem. So no more border around my angles like I had before, but I still get my 2 bottom layers. So that's great. And we can see that's transition. Same thing. All right. So what I'm going to talk about is the difference between transition layers and rafts, because Mike told me about rafts, and those are things you have when you're dealing with filament. We're going to take a look over here. I thought we had raft support over here. Oh no. I found rafts yesterday. We'll do a quick Google check. We'll do a Google search for rafts. So rafts in 3D printing. Raft in 3D printing is a temporary base layer of material printed beneath a model to improve adhesion to the build plate and prevent warping. So what I want to talk about is the difference between that and the transition layer. So rafts are basically going to stabilize your prints, right? And if you're making a tall print, or if you're having adhesion problems with your print, you would want to increase or otherwise manipulate your raft settings to either have the raft setting on or not, or how thick or how many raft layers you're going to need, how far it will go out. Skirts are the same, brims are the same kind of thing. A brim is kind of like something you would have, brim. And like we see right here, a brim is something you would have printed around your print to stabilize it, especially if you're printing really tall prints. I've had that issue many a times, and I've had to make brims. So rafts are kind of like that. There's something to stabilize the bottom of your prints. Now this, what I'm dealing with, where there was a border around my angles, that was that's actually what I was talking about yesterday, and that's the actual, let me get to display here. That's the actual transition layer count that we see here. So when you have transition layer count, anything other than 0, what's going to happen is like what I showed yesterday is, let me draw this again. So if you have that at anything other than 0, you're going to have, okay, you're going to have this. So I was printing something like this, right? Or, matter of fact, there we go. I was printing something like that. That's like a top-down view of what I was printing. But the side view, I wanted it to look like this. Where the angle starts immediately, right? When the build plate, and this is the build plate right here. Like it's sitting on the build plate. When the printing starts, it's going to start with this bottom layer and print going upward, right? I want the angle to start immediately from the build plate. What was happening in my case, I wish I had a different line color here. What was happening in my case, this is going to be the build plate. What was happening in my case is that it was making a layer before the angle would even start. You see, so it was where I would want the angle to start immediately on the build plate, it would immediately create a layer bigger than the actual model itself. Not because of rafting or brimming as a way to keep, and this is not done as a way to keep your print on the build plate. Because if I was doing something like this, say I was making a ball like this, right? Or let's say it was straight and the ball is like that. There we go. Say I was making something like this. Let's get rid of this right here. Say I was making something like this, to where it was this is the build plate. So it's building from the bottom up, right? And then it's going to have this right here, this little ball top right here. What would happen? Okay, we can see that there. What would happen if I had the transition layer at anything other than 0? This wouldn't look like this and then go straight into an angle. It wouldn't go straight into an angle. What would happen is, or it wouldn't go straight into the angle like we do here. It goes to this point and goes straight into that angle on both sides. What would happen is it would do this. It would go up, and instead of going right into that angle, which would be that angle creating that ball, instead of going right into that angle, it would create a border. This is where the angle would normally start at. It will go up a little bit more and then start that roundness. And then create more of a transition. So what it's doing is saying this has the layer between this straight line and this angle has no transition. It goes straight from the straight line right into that angle. There's no transition. This says, let's say this transition is 1. Let's say 2. Let's say the transition layer is equal to 2, and this transition layer is equal to 1 or 0. No transition layer here. The transition layer on this one is 2. What's going to happen is it's going to get to the point to where it should start the angle, but instead of starting the angle, it's going to put a buffer between it and the angle, which is this extra little bit right here. And then it's going to start the angle. So that's the problem I was having. I'm not sure if that made sense. I'm not sure if that made sense to anyone. Let me know in the chat. If that was too confusing, let me know in the chat. I plan on making a video about this transition layer and how it affects your prints, whether the print starts on the base plate or the angle starts on the base plate, like with this demonstration right here. The angle starts on the base plate right here, or if the angle starts above the base plate at like here, like we wanted the angle here, right? But because we have a transition layer of 2, it puts a buffer in between the point of it where it should start the angle and the point of where it actually starts the angle. And that manifests itself in different ways depending on how you're printing stuff. So in this case, it was putting a border before the angle started. I didn't want that border. I just wanted the angle to start right immediately, just like this. Instead of having this buffer. Let me just put this there. There we go, buffer. Instead of having that buffer layer there, I wanted to start immediately. So that's the difference. So that was the thing with my 3D printing woes. Why would you ever want that, says Mr. Mike? Well, you would want that in a case to where, say you were printing something, I guess, and I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I can't think of a reason why you would want that. Oh, it could be where you, I can see why you would want it to be the first layer, but not elsewhere. Let me know why you would want it to be the first layer, Mr. Mike. Elsewhere, I don't know why you would want it elsewhere either, unless you were trying to figure out or put something together that you needed space in between. You know what I mean? I don't know why you would want that. I'm pretty sure there are reasons why you want to create artificial space in between. Or, okay, here we go. Maybe this is a way to correct something. But then again, it was the default setting, so maybe it's not a corrective setting. I'm not sure why you would want that. It doesn't seem at all intuitive. It doesn't seem like you would want these kind of transition layers on your 3D prints for any reason. But I do know by default, we can see here, I do know that by default, these are the settings. So by default, let me go down here. By default, the bottom layer is set to 5. And by default, the transition layer count is also set to 5. So that was defaultly. Now, why if it's a corrective tool, then why it's there defaultly? So I'm thinking maybe it's a way to correct your prints, but that can't be the case because, like I said, they have it at 5 defaultly, which doesn't make any sense. Mr. Mike says you might want that to support the thing you are making, like if you were making a ball. True. Absolutely true. And think of it like this. What if you were making, and actually on that point, what if you were making something that was like a ball joint, right? You're making something that, let's just say, fit like this. You got a ball joint. And then you got something that's going to fit over that ball joint, right? But when it fits over that, you don't want it to come in contact with the angled surface. So you create that artificial border between the angled surface and the straight surface here, so that it never comes in contact with that. I don't know. I have no idea, but I do know that it creates an artificial border around areas where there's angles. And those are called transition points, where one line is transitioning to another line, right? It puts a border in that spot. I don't want that. I want my angles to be sharp and start exactly where I want them to, and I want my angles to be the length of the device, or the model. So that won't work for me. That definitely won't work for me. Let's look at that link that Palm threw in the Discord real quick too. Was it in the live chat Discord? Live chat, or is it an eInk chat? Oh, it probably was an eInk chat. Display performance and image quality comparison. Oh, now that I'm interested in. I'm gonna check out that Voya video. If you guys, can we see that? Someone threw this Voya video in the Discord. I'm gonna check this out. I want to see that. That's interesting. That's in line with the video I'm going to put out. So this should be a very interesting combo of videos. Absolutely. I like how Ed's like, yes, framework's coming along nicely, and it's cool. People will be able to compare devices. Now, when I said I wanted to compare screen brightness to compare devices, people were like, oh, who cares? Everyone cares now. It's for you. Yeah, I want to watch that video, Mike. I think it'll be very interesting. And I'll put up my own, even though people told me it wasn't worth doing. I'll put up my own too. I'm glad I don't listen to people. I'm glad I just do stuff because I like doing it. For sure. If I listen to people, nothing would get done. All right, everybody. That's going to be the show for me today. That's going to be it. Thank you to everyone for joining me for this journey here today. The show's evolving. I'm trying to get it more concrete in how I present the show. So those things are going to change and evolve over time. But I'm glad you guys are here for it. So thank you for joining me. And this hump day. So you made it through half the week. We only got 2 more days to go, everybody. Yeah, I think it's definitely worth doing, Mr. Mike. Everyone discusses whiteness, but when I first talked about doing it and I bought the machine to test it, people are like, who cares? Who cares? Like I said, I'm editing my video now, and I'm not just talking about Remarkable or Viwoods or Supernote. I'm comparing them all to each other. So I already know what the brightest display is out there. I already know who has the worst ghosting. Things people said no one cared about. I already know the answers to those. I'm gonna let you guys know the answers to those as far as I'm concerned, and my testing is in this video I'm putting out. Hopefully it'll be out by the end of this week. All right, everyone. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to kind of whenever. I'm glad you joined me. Rants About Tech. Forever. Have a good day, everybody.